Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here today. When the president first took office, as many of you know, he called on the private sector to do more, to invest in the skills and the training of the American worker. This was long prior to the onset of this pandemic and COVID, really accelerating the trend to make sure that the American worker has the skills for the jobs that exist today and the jobs of the future. I think we've seen this virus accelerate many of the trends that were already going in one direction from the digital revolution perspective, and it really is more important now than ever before. The call to action resulted in a full-blown national movement, which all of you were a great part of. Today, over 400 companies have signed our pledge to invest in the skills of over 16 million Americans. So you all deserve a big round of applause for that. Companies large and small, whether it's one employee or hundreds or thousands, as is the case in this room today, it is all so critical as we think about the next phase and this great American comeback. Today at the White House, we are recognizing 9 incredible organizations and, of course, private sector companies who are receiving the inaugural Pledge to America's Workers, proving that investing in the workforce, the country's greatest asset by far, is not just an activity that feels good, but it's also smart business. Just a couple of stories I wanted to share with you from my extensive travels across the United States. I was actually with Marilyn Houston several times, but one visit in Colorado particularly stood out, where I met a young woman, Sarah Latham, who was in advanced manufacturing technician apprentice. And she, like many other people in the program, had entered this position not thinking that somebody could join the aerospace industry and earn a great paying wage without a 4-year college degree. Well, she underwent an extensive apprentice program through Lockheed as part of their fulfillment of the pledge, and is now building hardware for space vehicles that are currently in orbit. So it's very, very exciting. I had met Sarah when she had just graduated from the apprenticeship program, so it's incredible to see her continue to thrive. Another young woman I met, named Reggie, was with Textron. I met her during a visit to Kansas, the aerospace capital of the world, and there she was part of a tuition-free scholarship program to study aviation sheet metal making. Now, as a prime example of the importance of lifelong learning, she is back through a program, went back to school, and is in the Women in Manufacturing program and absolutely excelling. So we're very, very proud of her as well, which does underscore the role that women play in the Great American Comeback. In 2019, of all the new jobs created, 70% of them were secured by women, which is truly extraordinary. And we will get back to that. This administration, from the earliest days, pledged to accelerate the role of women in STEM fields, one of the fastest growing lucrative fields where women and minorities are really grossly underrepresented, and we're seeing that trajectory starting to change. This administration dedicated a minimum of $200 million in annual grant funding, and there was a private sector match with several of the employers here today for over $300 million to support women and girls in K through 12 who are securing a STEM education, with a particular focus on computer science, where many of the good paying job vacancies exist today. So we're going to continue to push that agenda and move that forward. Now more than ever, the American worker is our greatest asset, and we're proud of these organizations and trade associations for their excellence in the space of training and providing pathways to upward mobility for students and workers across the nation. As winners of this inaugural pledge, our hope is that your commitment incentivizes and encourages other companies to do the exact same. So we hope to celebrate many years of exceptional investment in American students and workers. And we thank you for being the first class of recipients. And with that, I will hand it over to Secretary Ross to say a few more words. Thank you all.